So today I'm going to give you guys an update on the 8860p. So it's been my bad. I realized I didn't even upload really any updates after. So you guys saw the hardscape video and then the planting. And then after that, I thought I updated you guys, but I looked back at my videos and I didn't. So that was my bad. But we're actually about a month and a half in with this tank now. And as you can see, it looks way different. It's actually almost to a point overgrown a little bit. Next week I'll definitely have to do some work on the moss, and I've already trimmed the back stems a couple of times too, so that'll be coming up next week as well. But kind of give you guys an update, and just obviously if you follow me on Instagram, you guys have been getting weekly updates on this tank, but of course here on YouTube, there's all kinds of videos I need to make, and so sometimes, stuff like this gets forgotten, and then I realize, now it's a month and a half in, and, tank's looking way different than when some of you guys first probably saw it if you don't follow me on other platforms. So yeah, it's looking really good. Issue-wise, we never really had really bad issues. We had a couple hair algae issues in the beginning, not too bad though. Of course, starting with cycled media definitely helped, and it's been pretty smooth so far. There's been a couple of things I've had to change up. Some of the hair grass in here is looking kind of funky to me, and I've been trying to pull some of it out, and so there's some things I'm kind of just redefining and trying to do a little bit better maybe. Because yeah, like for example, yeah, like just like the hair grass. I mean, to some people it might look fine, but it's kind of just growing kind of weird. And it doesn't fit the kind of style this tank really is. So some of it I've been leaving, but some of it like grows really crazy. And I just kind of been picking some of that out. But I may have to remove it altogether, and I'll probably do just that honestly the next time around when I'm doing a big trimming anyway. So I think it just grows over everything, and some of the Bucephalandra and even this Pinophilia right here I had to chop back because I didn't want it covering up my my Brownie Ghost Chest 11, which you can see this is another problem. We have like staghorn almost like growing, so I'm kind of spot dosing with Excel. I don't know why that would be, growing in here. I don't really know why, so, but we're just gonna kill it off and just, make sure it doesn't come back, so. But yeah, other than that, yeah, all the strep ends, of course, all that stuff we planted, they're all pretty much grown in now. The back stems, of course, I've actually just trimmed it 2 weeks ago, and it's already to the top again, but basically, obviously, this is just to give it color and obviously hide the lily pipes as well. So that's why those stems are back there for that purpose. And then the ferns, it's finally, actually, I'm just now realizing, looking at it, yeah, this whole like mat's like grown in really thick. You see all the new ferns growing in. It was not like that last week. It was slowly coming in, but yeah, it must have really just blew up this week, which is nice. Because yeah, basically that middle section I want it to be like all ferns. And that's why I kind of want to remove some of the foreground plants that I planted, just because I think it's just making it look too much, almost too jungly. I still want it to look very clean, but not have almost too much going on and almost mess with your eyes a little bit. It may be just me. Most people are going to see this and think it's amazing, but there's just a few things I want to tweak myself. But yeah, and then the Ricardia is growing pretty good. Of course, all the Bucephalandra I planted. This one actually has 2 flowers, which is pretty sick. All the other ones are growing. Of course, this is the bigger colony. This one's going really fast, but again, it has some staghorn, so we're just gonna kill it off. And of course, the new leaves. You can see the newer stuff that's growing in over here. Look how good it looks compared to like the stuff that was like original to this. When I first planted it, and so you can see the newer growth's gonna look amazing. It just takes time, for that whole colony to kind of establish into a new one inside this tank, of course. And then yeah, these. I keep forgetting the actual scientific name for this newer moss, but it's like weeping, where it stays tight and just basically creeps down, and it just doesn't. It seems like it doesn't get as crazy, but we'll see. I need to go back and actually get some twine, actually, tighten it up against the wood, because you see it's just basically almost free float. You can see it's about to like pop off if it gets any bigger. So I'm gonna take some twine and wrap that up a little tighter. And same deal. It's kind of the same on this side. More Bucephalandras. Ricardia's kind of fading a little bit, so I started dosing some specialized Tropica. I was doing just a premium because obviously I don't want the excess nitrates in the beginning, but this tank's getting to the point where it needs a little bit of nitrates. Even though there's some fish in here, there's not enough nitrates getting produced and phosphates and stuff like that to where I think the Ricardia is kind of losing some color a little bit, so I just need to dose some extra in this tank for sure. I think at this point you see even some of the S-Rep in, so I definitely dosed a little more this time to make sure of that. But you can see even the other crypts are coming in now. That's going to look really nice when that really starts. There's wind-dyed green, and they might be just green all above. I really don't know until it starts growing back in again. I can't remember. I'd have to go back and watch it. my planting. But yeah, and then the pinophilia I grew up here is like binding down just like I want it. That's exactly what I envisioned when I planted it there. So I'm glad that's kind of actually doing its thing like it should. Even though Bobitis has come back in, but Bobitis is really slow. When you over to CO2 like this tank, it's really slow. But you can see it's even coming up here, it looks super sick. So it'll just take time. And then yeah, again, I'll probably remove all this hair grass. I already did over here. There was a big patch of it, and I removed it today. So I'll definitely go back. But fish-wise, we have chili reservoirs, so you can see all in here. They look so nice in this tank. They're just so colored up. There's about 12 in here. I'm actually going to add another 12 tomorrow night. There was actually like 30 or 40 in here, but that's when I didn't have a lid, and most of them actually jumped out, which is unfortunate. But I do have a lid on here now. I just took it off for the video, but I do have a custom lid. A full ADA 60 peak lid almost fit, but it didn't, so I had to get some custom because of this piece of wood that comes out with the immersed growth. I decided to get something custom that basically goes up to here pretty much, which sucks, but it works though. But yeah, all same. Yeah, the pinophilia was kind of going crazy, and this boost of flanger is kind of getting covered up. So I may actually cut this even more next time and try to keep more. I might even, I mean, I like it there, but I may even, with the crypts right there, I may even remove all that altogether. I was just trying to add some more color down there, but I think that's, you guys know how pinophilia is. It'll just start getting really crazy. I don't mind it in like, a few spots. I probably actually need to remove that one right there. That's kind of getting in the way of the boost of flandra. But there's just crypts right here that's eventually going to fill in anyway, and I think I'm just going to remove that entire section next time around. But in the immersed growth, you see Ricardia down, you can see the amount of root structure. It's just insane how thick this roots are, but pretty cool. And then you got the immersed growth here. If anybody's interested in this name, I can type it. I just don't know on top of my head how to pronounce it, but I know how to spell it. I just don't want to say it wrong. But and then yeah, I got this Hydrophila 53B, which just got planted with this Luigia. So these two are just now. That's why it doesn't look as great, but it's just now coming in. Same with this one, so both looking pretty sick. Yeah, I just love this whole like section that's growing out here, but it's looking pretty good. I think I showed this in the original setup. I probably didn't, but I have an auto top off in here. That's before I had the lid on here. It was just evaporating too much, but now it's actually good now. So probably actually, honestly, if I need that, I'll probably end up taking that off, using it on something different for sure. Because yeah, at this point, it's really just a waste being on there. So I think I'll take that off next time. And plus, it just makes it look cleaner. That tube is kind of just out there, so these at least stay pretty tight, but that just kind of, the way it's kind of loose, I think it just look cleaner if I just remove the whole thing anyway, so I think that'll work out pretty nicely. But yeah, obviously running the Neo pipes, I've cleaned them a couple times. I kind of left the first time a little too long, and now it's kind of stained to the point where I'd have to soak them to really clean them, so that kind of sucks, and I really don't want to do that. I mean, if I really have to, I could actually take these off and remove them. It wouldn't be the biggest deal in the world. I think I just need to buy a version 2 pair and have on hand, and then so I can actually soak these. But I can still, I mean, they don't look horrible. I can still get them like somewhat clear to where when you stand back, I mean, nobody's gonna notice it, honestly. So, but yeah, I've been misting that immersed growth with the Duo spray, all that good stuff. Obviously, our CO2 paintball, which you can really check, still has quite a bit in there. Obviously, we don't need much for this tank, and then also, we still got our Raza 200 running in there. It's doing well. It probably needs another clean again by this time. I cleaned it about maybe a month ago when we first did it, just to change up the filter floss. But I could tell the flow is pretty good still, but it definitely needs probably some new floss or so. So I could tell it's slowing down just a little bit. But yeah, that's the plan. I'll try to keep you guys more updated on YouTube on this tank, just because it will change, and this will be another contest tank of mine. For probably AGA. I don't think I'll ever submit this to the ADA contest, because obviously you only get one submission to ADA, and I kind of want to use the best of the best. Not that this isn't, but this one's kind of different too, because it's 3-sided, and it's hard to choose between what pictures. At least with the AGA contest, you can actually submit a photo of the whole tank 360 around, and actually it won't affect your judging at all, or your ranking at all, because they actually like to, AJ actually likes you to have other pictures like that with your submissions, so that work out. And I think this will be a great one for AJ, just because of the fact that I'll get to showcase all the sides, and I think it's just a more impressive layout that I have an aquascape like this that's basically 360 around. It's an aquascape you can see from 3 sides is pretty hard to do, and I'm glad I think I'm happy, and I think I've done a pretty good job of achieving something that's, you know, pretty good that you can look all around. Again, yeah, just an aquascape like that's just kind of hard to do sometimes, making it look good on 3 sides. So I think we achieved that pretty good here. But yeah, I think that's about it. If you guys have any other questions, if you see anything I didn't mention that you need questions on, definitely ask me down below. Definitely follow me on Instagram at JJ Aquariums. You'll get instant updates all the time on all my tanks, all the time, and even more than you won't even ever see on YouTube. So definitely check that out if you have it. But other than that, yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.